Hey everybody, why is it quiet? There we go, sorry about that. Like I was saying, hey everybody, it's Super Baseman 275 back with episode 4 of Let's Play Pokemon Yellow. Yeah, this is gonna be a good long one, LP wise, not the episode. Though the episode might be quite long indeed. Yeah. That's what I love about Pokemon games. They're not quite 80-hour RPGs, which I absolutely hate. Sorry, all you Final Fantasy fans, I just can't stand it. I tried to play through Final Fantasy 2 and 3 on the Super NES, couldn't do it, and that would be the misnumbered ones, not the actual 2 and 3, apparently. You know, Cecil and all those other good people. Anyway, off topic. Anyway, back on topic with Pokemon Yellow. As you can see, after the last episode, I went back to Viridian Forest and fought all those trainers, and it really didn't level up Speary as much as I hoped it would. I actually went out, like, right down below Pewter City and still grinded up to get up the 2 levels that I did. Pig also went up another level off screen. But yeah, as you can see, everything's fairly even, and I like that. I'm actually the kind of person that is, gosh, I guess terrible about leveling up one Pokemon, usually my starter, and using that as pretty much a powerhouse throughout the entire game. Unfortunately, I've met my match with Pokemon Yellow because, sorry, people of America, I absolutely, well, I won't say I hate Pikachu, but I don't like Pikachu. Sorry. Pikachu is not my favorite Pokemon. It takes way too long to level up, and its stats aren't the best in the world. My Pikachu right now has higher attack than it does special. There's a problem here, considering Pikachu's only physical attacks are Quick Attack and Slam, and although Slam is a wonderful move, I love Slam, I should be learning that fairly soon. Anyway, I guess I should really keep going. You can't really avoid these 2 trainer battles up here. That last down there you can avoid. I don't think I battled her. Yep, so I'll come out here and battle all the trainers I don't battle on screen, off screen, after this episode. Anyway, so let's Speary. Oh, and Speary learned Fury Attack at level 15. Which is good, because he needs another attacking move. I'm tired of spamming Peck, even though it's super effective on almost everything that I've encountered in the last little bit of this game. But anyway. Oh, crap. Don't tell me. I really hope I don't have to go back and refill PP this early. God, there again with the PP. I understand how HP and PP are easy to remember, but really, people, PP, I'm sorry. I honestly consider myself a pretty mature person, but, I mean, come on, you said PP. Let me check that, just to make sure I don't need to run to the Pokemon. Yeah, I did. Holy crap, 7 out of 35. I'm going to run to the Pokemon Center. I'll be right back. And I'm back and everybody's fully healed. Okay, now to battle this guy. Yeah, sorry guys, this episode's going to be pretty much trainer battle after trainer battle after trainer battle. Yeah. Sorry. I don't like cutting a lot of stuff, as I explained in the last episode. Let's try out Fury Attack, shall we? It is a multiple hit move. It attacks several times. I want to say the base power of each separate attack is like 15 or 13 or something. It's a really weird number. Kind of like Bullet Seed in the 3rd generation. Crap, I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, yeah, as long as it's gone. As long as it's out of my half. Anyway. Gosh. So, yeah. let me find something to talk about, guys. Oh, here we go. Permanent party members. I really don't think, if the way my permanent party is set up for right now, I think if it's set up the way I want it set up, I don't think we'll add another party member for a while now. So, plenty of time to suggest nicknames. I'm sorry, like I said, I really enjoy it when LPers, try to involve their audience, so I'm going to try to involve my audience, all 4 of you. Oh gosh. Yeah. I don't know. But, like I may have stated before, I really don't do this for, the views or the likes or the subscribers. I do this because I like playing video games, and I know there are people out there on YouTube who like to watch people play video games. So, while I do try to please my audience, I'm not going to go way out of my way I know I can't make everybody happy, and I'm not going to try. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Wow. So, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and ask, how's everybody's summer been? Gosh, I know we're more than halfway through it. At least we are where I live, anyway. I actually probably shouldn't be spending so much time recording right now, and should probably be working on my summer reading list for AP English. Gosh, I think that's terrible. Why would I want to read 3 really boring books over the summer? The one I'm reading right now, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I love Mark Twain. I love The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Huckleberry Finn. Don't know why. I've always despised this book. Always hated the book. And I guess it's, the first time I read it, or tried to read it, was in, 5th grade. Yeah. And maybe it was just maybe it was a mixture of that and just the way that Mark Twain writes. I'm gonna go around her, like I said, try to avoid all the skippable battles. God, it's freezing in my room right now. Anyway, out here you can find lots and lots of Spearow. I want to say Spearow. And maybe the occasional Jigglypuff? I think. Anyway, so we are almost to Mount Moon. And good, we're only 10 minutes in. Maybe I can get through most of this. Gosh, honestly, I want this to be more of like a walkthrough, kind of playthrough kind of deal. So I'm going to take the straightforward route through Mount Moon. I'll come back and get all the little goodies, and I'll show you guys what I got. I'll probably, do a clip or 2 of how to get there. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I don't want to spend too much time in Mount Moon just because I hate Mount Moon. Remember how I said I lost my Pokemon Red version a lot when I was little? Yeah. The first time I got stuck because, little old me had to pick Charmander as my starter, and in the original first generation games, the Steel type didn't exist, therefore Charmander did not learn Metal Claw. Therefore, Brock was not an easy battle. I think I ended up beating him with a Pidgeotto or something, and I'm walking in circles. I'm gonna run to the Pokemon Center lady. Come on, Nurse Joy, I guess. I don't know. With her Chansey. It's funny how, if you look in your party or whatever, all the Pokemon fit within 4 categories of sprites. But there are three, I think. No. I take that back. 6 Pokemon in this game that have individual sprites just for them. Those would be Pikachu, Chansey, Jigglypuff, because of Imputer City, and then the 3 Kanto starters, which are Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. And people may be asking, what? But you can't get those in the wild. Well, no, you can't. But you can get them in this game as part of a interesting little kind of, I guess you could call them side quests. Not really. It's just a bunch of stuff. You talk to the right people. Anyway, I'm going to be using Pig a lot through Mount Moon, just because you find a lot of Geodude and Zubat in here, and fighting type should be really good against Geodude. Since this is right here in the doorway, I might as well come get it. This is TM12, which is Water Gun. Yeah, they don't tell you what the TM has in it. There's a trainer. There's a Paralyze Heal potion. There's a Paralyze Heal in the room up above. So yeah, I'm gonna go across, avoid all these trainers. I'm surprised I haven't run into any wild Pokemon yet. I'm just gonna try to see how fast I can talk and how long I can draw out this sentence and blah 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 blah. And then I had to take a breath. Crap. Yeah, one trainer. Not a big deal. This is Lass. Yes, this is back, like I said, limitations of the Game Boy. This was back before trainers had names. They were Lass or Bug Catcher, you know? So she's got an Oddish. Let's see what I can do. Oddish is Poison. Poison does not do well against fighting. I'll do Scratch. One of the things I love about playing the original 3, or the first and second generation, I guess, games, I should say, is the fact that this was Pokemon at, I won't say its greatest, because I definitely think the third generation games were pretty awesome. 4th gen was lacking a little bit. 5th gen, yeah, not my favorite, though it did have some rather memorable Pokemon that I like. But yeah, 1st and 2nd generation were just, pure Pokemon. They were the most pure generations I can think of. There wasn't all these, they didn't make it more complicated like they have in the last few generations. Like with, abilities, and there's our wild Pokemon. It's a Zubat. Zubat, there's a lot of these guys in here. If I could evolve it into Crobat, I'd get one, but I don't like Golbat. And there was no friendship thing. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is straight up Pokemon. There's no real detailed stuff. And I'm not saying that's not because they didn't want to, because they probably did. I'm sure, they would have loved to have somebody like that. Yeah, it's a trainer, we just kind of avoided him. There's a hiker up here you can avoid. There's that Paralyze Heal I was talking about, I think. Now I'll go back and get it later. Like I said, gotta do my second run through this. Oh crap, I'm not gonna be able to come back through here. It's all good. I don't care. I don't think there's anything up here. Nope. So you gotta go this way. Got us some more wild Pokemon. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I won't say so much it was the limitations of just the hardware, software, whatever that they were using at the time that caused this game to be simple. That's the word I've been looking for, simple. Yeah, no, I think it's just the fact that, at the time, this was still quite the drastic concept. This was new, this was different at the time. Sure, they'd had RPGs like your Final Fantasies and stuff like that, but they hadn't had anything quite like this. And it's been replicated many times. If anybody's played the Dragon Quest, or as they changed the name in America, Dragon Warrior series, Dragon Quest Monsters. No, it was Dragon Warrior at first, then they changed it to Dragon Quest in America. I'm sorry, I got that backwards. Anyway, Dragon Warrior Monsters, Dragon Quest Monsters, or something like that, was another great Pokemon-esque RPG. I enjoyed playing through. Hey, look, Clefairy, that's actually rare. I might end up catching this and just storing it in a box. Or I could kill it, like the heartless mercenary that I am. Wahahaha. 87 experience, that's pitiful. Anyway, if you come up here, You see those two little shell things on the ground? Those are fossils. Let's talk to this kid. Hey, stop. I found these fossils. They're both mine. Well, way to be a snob about it. God. Anyway, yeah, this is Super Nerd. He has a Grimer and a Voltorb. And a Coughing? I'm not quite sure. There were like a few little changes in between Red and Blue and then finally Yellow. There are big changes between Red and Green and Red and Blue in America. But that's a topic for another day. Yeah, so a lot of the trainers have different teams now. A lot of the gym leaders, it's pretty much summed up into this. The original games, Red and Blue, came out before the anime was even dreamt of, okay? The anime crap you watch on TV nowadays, which I think is honestly one of the most stupidest things I've ever seen. Sorry, fans of the Pokemon anime series. I'm gonna be offending some people today. Honestly, I think it's ridiculous. And, the game was based off the game was the game. The anime is based off the game. But Yellow, however, came out after the anime was started, and therefore is based off of the anime, slightly. There are a lot more characters from the anime in here. So, like you've got Nurse Joy, and I believe there's one or two Officer Jennies that you actually run into. So the characters in the game are more based off of the characters in the anime. When we get to Lieutenant Surge, the third gym, in the original Red and Blue, he had a bunch of electric-type Pokemon. In this game, he's only got one. His Raichu, the Raichu that was featured in the anime. Raichu that doesn't know agility, even though it should. Anyway. Such a dork for knowing this, but still. I've been a fan of the Pokemon series for a long time, and it's not going to change anytime soon. Yeah, so you can pick a fossil. I usually go with the Dome fossil just because I'm a fan of Kabuto. But, considering I'm doing all sorts of things I don't normally do in this LP, like rant about anime, I think I'll go with the Helix fossil, which turns into Omanite. I'm also using Pikachu, which I almost never do in my playthroughs of Yellow. I always catch something and use it. Speaking of Pikachu, or Snorlax, should I say, I'm gonna switch him out front. No, he'll get screen time in the next gym. Just level up Speary, son. And then we come down here and stop right there. Yes, it's everybody's favorite duo, Team Rocket. See what I mean about characters from the anime? This is Jesse and James from Team Rocket. Surrender now or prepare to fight, their famous line. They're here. This is how it changed between Red, Blue, and Yellow. Okay, Rocket wants to fight. Send out Ekans. Just snake backwards. I'm not going to make that stupid joke that people always make about the whole Ekans Arbok muck thing. It's so ridiculously stupid. Come on, people. Ekans' attack continues. Ekans' attack continues again. Thank you. Gosh. So, yeah, not quite so over-leveled anymore. I'm actually rather under-leveled for this point in the game, by my usual standpoint. Then again, like I said, I usually play through a game where I take one Pokemon and level it up. No, sorry about that. Level it up and use it throughout. Wow, Meowth looks completely freaking creepy in this game. That is just weird looking. Like the red circles around his eyes and the mouth. My god, that's creepy. I never really noticed that until now. I shuddered, but I'm not sure if it's just because it's freaking freezing in my room, or if it's because Meowth's really that creepy. Now coughing. Let's hope it doesn't use self-destruct. Gosh, yeah. Speaking of LPs and coughings, I'm a big fan of other LPers, the one LPer I've really watched the most would have to be Chugga Conroy. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, so I just really recently started watching his LP of Pokemon Crystal. And, you know, his coughing and his wheezing, that he liked to explode every once in a while, and they're gone. Yeah. So, yeah. I want to say, you know, Chugga Conroy was definitely one of my big influences in me starting to LP. That and a good friend of mine who's also an LPer, you should check out her channel at MavisMay155. Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, I wasn't really sure if I'd be cut out for something like this. I'm not really a people person, honestly. But yeah, what was I talking about? We're in Cerulean City, people. Woo! Gosh, it is, wow, it's really been 20 minutes. I think I might have to cut this here, guys. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, this has been Super Baseman 275 with Pokemon Yellow.